They say the Nile remembers every face that has ever looked into its depths. And once each year, when the full moon hangs ripe and heavy over Upper Egypt, the great river takes a bride a beautiful offering to keep its ancient memory alive. But this year, the Nile took more than it was promised. The village of Al-Karim is alive tonight, glowing under strings of colored lanterns. The air thrums with the beat of drums, and the high, joyful ululations of women echo through the palm groves. It is the wedding of Layla and Omar, two souls, young, bright, and utterly fearless. Layla's white dress shimmers like captured moonlight, her hands intricately painted with henna, and her dark eyes are full of a playful defiance. Near the warmth of a crackling fire, old Haya Salma sits, her face a mask of worry. She watches Layla and mutters to herself, her voice a dry whisper lost in the celebration. She must not look at the water. Not tonight, but Layla is lost in the moment. She laughs, her joy a melody, as she dances dangerously close to the riverbank, tossing fragrant petals into the dark, swirling current. Omar, her new husband, pulls her back gently, his smile warm. "Careful, Habibti," he says, his voice full of affection. "They say the river gets jealous." Layla just flashes him a teasing look. Then let it drown in envy. The crowd laughs along with them, but Haja Salma's gaze never leaves the river. In her wrinkled hands, she clutches a small, worn amulet, a protective eye carved from bone, polished smooth by a generation of fearful fingers. Later, as the drums finally fade and the guests begin to drift home like happy ghosts, Haya Salma makes her way to Layla. Her voice is rough, her breath thick with a fear that chills the warm night air. "Your mother knew the rule," she rasps, her eyes boring into Layla's. "Your grandmother too. Every bride of this village for centuries has sworn never to look into the Nile before the first light of dawn. Do you understand me, child?" Layla, still flushed with happiness, dismisses her with a light laugh. "Aja, it's just a superstition, an old tale." "No," Salma insists, her grip surprisingly strong on Layla's arm. "It is not a tale, it is a memory. The Nile keeps what it is shown." She presses the small bone amulet into Layla's palm, its surface cool against her warm skin. "If you value your husband's life, if you value your own future, keep your eyes away from the water until the sun rises." Layla smiles politely, tucking the amulet away, but the old woman's warning has lit a spark not of fear, but of fiery curiosity. What could be so terrible about a simple reflection? Back in their new home, Omar is fast asleep, his breathing soft and steady, but Layla is wide awake, her mind racing. The river's whisper seems to call to her, a siren song pulling at the edges of her reason. She creeps to the window and peers out. The moon paints a silver, shimmering path across the water, making it look like a road paved with liquid diamonds. Yaya Salma's words echo in her head, but they feel like chains from a forgotten age. What power could a river possibly hold over her? It's just water, just a reflection. Her defiance swells, a familiar and thrilling sensation. She needs to know. She has to see for herself. Slipping out of the house, she moves silently through the deserted village, the cool sand soft beneath her bare feet. The air is still, holding its breath. As she approaches the bank, the river seems to grow louder, its murmuring current sounding almost like words, a language she can't quite understand but feels in her bones. She kneels at the water's edge, the damp earth cold against her knees. Her heart pounds a frantic rhythm against her ribs. Just one look. What harm could it do? She takes a deep, steadying breath and leans forward, her eyes finding her own reflection in the dark, glassy surface. For a moment, all she sees is herself a bride, bathed in moonlight. But then the reflection wavers, and the face staring back is no longer hers. The eyes are ancient and sad, the skin translucent, the hair like tangled river reeds. It's a woman she's never seen, yet a flicker of recognition sparks in her mind. Then another face appears beside the first, and another, and another. A procession of ghostly brides, their faces pale and sorrowful, their eyes filled with an eternal longing. They are the Nile's collection, the memories it keeps. Layla gasps, scrambling backward, her heart seizing with a terror she has never known. This wasn't a superstition. It was a warning. She runs, stumbling back to her home, her mind a whirlwind of horrifying images. She bursts through the door, calling Omar's name, her voice trembling, but the room is empty. The bed is cold. Panic, cold and sharp, pierces through her. She searches the small house, her calls growing more desperate. He's gone. She races back outside, her eyes scanning the moonlit village, but there is no sign of him. Only the silent, knowing river. Her gaze falls back to the water, and this time she sees something new. A fresh reflection floating among the ghostly brides. It's Omar. His face is peaceful, his eyes closed, his image shimmering just beneath the surface. He's been taken. The river, jealous of her love, had claimed him as its price for her defiance. A wail of pure agony, tears from Layla's throat, a sound that shatters the night's tranquility. The village begins to stir, lights flickering on in windows. Hiya Salma is the first to reach her, her face etched with a terrible, knowing pity. She pulls the sobbing Layla into her arms. "You looked, didn't you?" she whispers, her voice filled not with anger, but with a deep, shared sorrow. "The Nile showed you its brides, and in return, it took your groom." Layla can only nod, her body racked with sobs. She clutches the bone amulet so tightly its edges dig into her palm. "How do I get him back?" she chokes out. "Tell me what to do." Hayesha Salma looks from Layla's desperate face to the dark, impassive river. "There is one way," she says slowly, her voice barely audible. "An old pact. A story as old as the river itself. But the cost, child, the cost is a life for a life. To challenge the Nile, you must offer it a memory it desires more than the one it has taken." She explains that at the heart of the river's magic lies the first bride, an ancient spirit whose sorrow fuels the curse. To save Omar, Layla must find a way to soothe this ancient grief, to offer a new story, a new memory so powerful it rewrites the old one. It is a quest that no one has attempted for 1,000 years, a journey into the very memory of the Nile itself. Grief hardens into resolve in Layla's heart. She will not be another sorrowful face in the water. She will not let Omar become just a memory. Wiping her tears, she meets Hisha Salma's gaze, her own eyes burning with a new, fierce light. "Then I will do it," she declares, her voice steady and clear. "I will walk into the river's memory. I will face this first bride, and I will bring my husband back." Her journey was just beginning. She was no longer just a bride of Omar. She was about to become the adversary of the Nile. The village is a ghost town under the moon, swallowed by the silence of midnight. Everything sleeps except for the river, the Nile. It breathes in the darkness, a long, endless sigh of water and silt. whispering secrets only the wind can carry. Can you hear it? On that wind, a sound that doesn't belong. The faint echo of a woman's laughter. From a small mud-brick house, a figure emerges. It's Layla, but she shouldn't be here. She should be dreaming of her wedding tomorrow. Instead, she's walking through the dust in her white wedding dress, her veil a ghostly trail behind her. Her eyes are wide, unfocused, as if pulled by an invisible string leading straight to the riverbank. The ancient amulet around her neck, a gift from her grandmother, turns ice-cold against her skin, a silent, desperate warning. She reaches the water's edge, the gentle lapping of the waves like a soft invitation. Then a voice, smooth and sweet as honey, rises from the depths. Layla. It's a sound that coils around her, both terrifying and familiar. She freezes, her gaze falling to her reflection in the black, mirrored surface. But the face looking back isn't hers. The water shows another woman, a bride just like her, with skin as pale as lotus petals and a serene, knowing smile. Her eyes are open, staring up from beneath the surface, impossibly clear. The voice from the water speaks again, closer this time. Come closer, sister. You're one of us now. A gasp escapes Layla's lips. She stumbles backward, her trance broken by pure terror. But the earth beneath her feet betrays her. The dry ground turns to slick, greedy mud in an instant. Before she can scream, hands cold, wet hands made of water and river clay erupt from the mire. They grab her ankles, her wrists, tangling in the delicate lace of her dress, pulling her down. The river doesn't just pull. It lunges, a sudden, violent rush of water that wraps around her like a shroud. Her scream is a single, sharp note of despair, cut short as the black water closes over her head. Then an unnerving silence. All that remains is her white veil, floating delicately on the surface, a lone star in a dark, watery sky. The sun rises, casting a harsh, unforgiving light on the scene. The entire village is gathered by the shore, their faces a mixture of fear and disbelief. There is no sign of Layla, just that single, heartbreaking piece of fabric, her veil caught in the reeds, waving a gentle goodbye. Her fiancé, Omar, his face a hollow mask of grief, dives into the murky depths again and again, his desperate cries echoing across the water. Each time he surfaces with nothing but handfuls of mud and shattered hope. Standing apart from the chaos is Hiya Salma, the village's oldest resident. She is a statue, her lips moving silently, whispering an ancient prayer, her eyes fixed on the river with a look of grim acceptance. Layla's brother, Yusuf, his eyes blazing with fury and grief, finally breaks. He storms over to the old woman, grabbing her arm. You knew this would happen. You and your cursed stories. Hiya Salma doesn't flinch. She turns her ancient, sorrowful eyes to him, her voice raspy with age and secrets. The river chose her long ago, boy. The mark was on her from birth. Some debts, they can never be paid in full. They can only be passed down. Her words hang in the air, a chilling prophecy fulfilled. A murmur ripples through the crowd. Some women begin to wail, their sorrow a chorus against the river's steady rhythm. Others, hardened by a lifetime of respect and fear for the Nile, spit into the water a futile curse against a god that gives life and just as easily takes it away. But the river pays them no mind. The Nile flows on, calm, indifferent, almost satisfied. It has claimed its bride, and it will wait patiently for the next. Darkness falls again, blanketing the village in an uneasy silence. Omar sits alone by the river, the water a black mirror reflecting a starless sky. His fingers are clenched tight around a delicate silver necklace, its small pendant cold against his palm. It's Layla's, the last thing he has of her. The soft whisper of the wind carries a sound, a voice faint and familiar like a half-remembered song. Omar. He freezes. It's her voice. It's Layla. He lifts his head, his heart pounding against his ribs. And there she is, standing at the very edge of the river where the water laps at the muddy bank. Her long hair is dark and wet, plastered to her skin. Her simple white dress drips, clinging to her form, its hem stained with silt. But it's her eyes that steal his breath darker than the river's depths, holding secrets he can't begin to fathom. For a moment he can't move, can't breathe. Is this a dream? A cruel trick of his grieving mind? Then a wave of desperate hope crashes over him. He scrambles to his feet, tears blurring his vision, and runs towards her. Layla, ya Ella, I thought I lost you. I thought you were gone. A faint, sad smile touches her lips. It doesn't quite reach her eyes. You never will, Omar. I'll always be with you. He reaches her and pulls her into a desperate embrace, burying his face in her wet hair, breathing in the scent of river water and something else, something cold and ancient, like damp earth. He holds her tight, relief so potent it makes him dizzy. She's here, she's safe, but as he holds her, a biting chill seeps into his bones, far colder than the night air. It emanates from her. He pulls back slightly, his relief turning to a creeping unease. He looks down at her hands, still resting on his arms. His blood runs cold. Her hands are caked in black river silt, the mud stark against her unnaturally pale skin. Her fingernails, once neatly trimmed, are now long and sharp, like claws. A strangled gasp escapes his lips. Layla, what happened to you? What did they do? Her smile widens, but it's a grotesque, chilling sight. There's no warmth in it, only a hollow emptiness. The river kept its promise, my love. It gave me a new home. As she speaks, her eyes begin to shimmer, the deep black swirling into a mesmerizing, molten gold, the exact color of sunlight, glinting on the river's waves at high noon. Omar stares, hypnotized and horrified. He instinctively glances at their reflection in the water below. He sees Layla, her golden eyes burning brightly, but beside her, there is nothing. His own reflection has vanished completely. The water shows only her, standing alone. A new day breaks, the sun painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. But the familiar rhythmic beat of drums shatters the dawn's peace. Haya Salma's eyes snap open. She knows that sound. It's the sound of a wedding procession. Another year, another festival, another bride for the Nile. She rises from her bed, her old bones aching with a weariness that has nothing to do with age, and everything to do with memory. She walks to her window, which overlooks the riverbank. The scene below is eerily familiar, yet horribly wrong. A small crowd has gathered, but standing at the water's edge where the bride should be are two figures, still as statues. They are dressed in stark white wedding clothes. It's Layla and Omar. Their faces are blank, their eyes vacant, staring straight ahead at the horizon, unblinking. They don't move, they don't speak. They are merely there, like ghosts caught between worlds. Just then, the real procession arrives. A young girl, no older than Layla was, walks slowly toward the river. She is this year's chosen bride, adorned in finery, her face a mask of resigned terror. As she passes the spot where Haya Salma stands watching, a sudden gust of wind sweeps across the water. The old woman watches as Layla's ethereal white veil, which seems to float from her static form, drifts across the surface of the Nile. It doesn't sink. Instead, it glides like a serpent, wrapping itself around the reflection of the new bride in the water, clinging to her image like a shroud. A shiver runs down Haya Salma's spine. She pulls her shawl tighter around her shoulders, a single tear tracing a path down her weathered cheek. She whispers the words that have haunted her for decades, a truth as old and deep as the river itself. The river remembers, and it never, ever forgives. And so the cycle continues, unbroken. Each year, when the waters rise, the Nile takes a bride. Each year, a ghostly veil returns to claim the next. And each year, another name, another soul is whispered into the current, joining the chorus of the lost. A silent army beneath the waves, growing with every sacrifice, until the river has no end, and no mercy. The signs are always there for those who know how to read them. An unexplained chill by the water's edge, the feeling of being watched from the reeds, dreams of being submerged in cool, dark water. The village elders, like Hia Salma, they see these signs. They recognize the river's claim. But what can be done? To fight the Nile is to fight the very source of their existence. So they whisper their prayers and they watch their daughters, hoping the river's gaze falls elsewhere. Layla was not the first, and as the Nile continues its timeless journey to the sea, a silent promise hangs in the air. She will not be the last. The river always gets its due. The bride of the Nile will always have her sisters. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that story. If you did, please subscribe DarkWhisper AI. Leave a comment. The next episode will be up soon. Don't miss. Goodbye.